This is CJ with one of Emmett Till's Minnesota relatives.
So what's happening?
Baby Emmett grew to look like this as a toddler. He looked like this when he left Chicago to visit relatives in Mississippi.
No, it's fine.
This is how the 14-year-old looked when he left the Magnolia State after whistling at a white woman. The Department of Justice has reopened an investigation into the gruesome August 28, 1955 killing of Till, for whom no one was ever convicted. I began my interview with Deborah Watts, Emmett Till's cousin.
Our great-grandfathers were brothers.
By asking about the recent Justice Department news. Watts is co-founder of the Twin Cities-based Emmett Till Legacy Foundation.
Okay.
What do you expect from the Justice Department reopening the investigation?
You know, this is a 63-year-old murder case. And murder cases, you know, unless they're solved, they don't close. So it's a cold case. The interest has been around that and my reaction or the reaction of our family and what our hopes are, you know, for the future. And it's justice. There's no doubt about it. We want justice.
Well, we know who killed him.
Yes.
But the only thing new that we've learned in the last few years is that the woman at whom he whistled,
Carolyn Bryant Donham, yes.
now says that what she said wasn't true.
Right. The interesting thing about that is she was interviewed by Timothy Tyson, an author of a book called The Blood of Emmett Till. And that book was released last year. But Timothy actually spoke to her and interviewed her in 2007-2008 time frame. So that revelation has been known by him for that length of time. Carolyn has some memoirs that are held at the University of North Carolina. And those memoirs, I'm not sure what's inside of those, but it's called Wolf Whistle, you know, which is, you know, I'm sure has some reflection on her life and what her life has been since the Emmett Till murder. But I don't know what it entails. And we were hoping that with the release of his book, that it would create more interest in his case. His case was actually opened or revisited in 2004. Unfortunately, Mamie Till Mobley, his mother, died in 2003. And with her death, you know, there wasn't a lot, you know, of any others saying anything about it. And so, you know, our family started asking questions. There was a documentary that was produced by Keith Beauchamp. He did a lot of research and was, you know, I think involved in uncovering some things that they should take a closer look at. They took a closer look in 2004, sent it to a grand jury in 2007, and they decided that there were no charges that were going to be brought against anyone. So I'm hoping they're bringing that back again, looking at what Timothy Tyson has, and he's released his information to the FBI.
Do you expect the Justice Department, led by Jeff Sessions, to come to any conclusions that are going to be satisfactory?
I have great hope that the Justice Department, along with the authorities in Mississippi, will do the right thing. I do. I had a chance to meet with Jeff Sessions back in March of 2017 to talk about the Unsolved Civil Rights Crimes Act and the other cold cases and how important it was to make sure that that was implemented within his administration, and he was agreeable to that. And so I hope that regardless of the administration, regardless of how some of us may feel about their affinity towards humanity and justice, particularly for African Americans, I have great hope. You know, Carolyn Bryant is a white woman, and no white woman has been convicted for the murder of a black man or boy. So this would be a big feat, you know, for Mississippi, for the Justice Department as well. And I hope that they're able to stand up, have the right kind of courage to do it, because this is about the law, and she should answer to the charges of murder for Emmett. We've put 80-year-olds in jail before,
yes,
you know.
We have.
Medgar Evers' murderer was in jail. I'm not sure how old he was. Edgar Ray Killens, responsible for the 3 civil rights workers, Goodman, Cheney, and Schwerner, just recently died in prison. You know, so age, I think for anyone that's had a death in their family, they expect justice no matter what the age is. So that's what we're talking about. And I know we have sensitivity to elderly, and I do. You know, I respect my elders, but I also respect justice too, and I think that's what we want.
Have you been to Montgomery to see the lynching memorial?
I have. Bryant Stevenson and that team have done an incredible job. The 4,000 or so names, the counties that they were lynched in, the dates. I mean, it's like going to one of the lynchings actually and seeing, but it's just a massive number of individuals that have been, a part of that terror in our country. And so there's so many, beyond Emmett, there's so many other families represented there. This will mean justice for Emmett, but I think it'll mean justice for others in that Emmett Till generation. I think this is a time for healing, but justice first. We want the truth told, and we want the record set straight. Carolyn's lie cannot stand.
Have you seen Emmett's marker at the lynching memorial in Montgomery?
There is none. There's
the one to lynch. Wait, why wouldn't there be the one to Emmett?
They actually stopped at 1950, I believe. So I've asked them about that.
Well, his story is viewed as starting the civil rights movement.
What's where, our country stood up, and it was a turning point, for our country. And Rosa Parks, decided to sit down, So there's a lot that I think tied to Emmett's murder and his mother having the open casket funeral. There's a lot that we owe, to his story.
I have a colleague who earlier this year was in Mississippi, and he was kind of appalled that there are bullet dings in one of the monuments.
There's a sign near the river where Emmett's body was dumped that tells the story as well, and that's shot up every year.